Thank you for being here once again, my movie friends. Let's talk about some news. Some of the things we'll be discussing here today, guys, is Benedict Cumberbatch has spilled the beans about his involvement in the next 2 Avenger movies. Paramount looks to have given us the official logo for Sonic Movie 4 along with its release date and one really scary rumor. Not just that, but my Hollywood clone who stole my mojo, Ryan Gosling, possibly starring in a Star Wars movie. Oh, we're gonna be diving into that along with so much more, so you know the drill. Hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and comment down below on what you think of these pieces of news. And well, jumping into the first thing I want to discuss here today is we got a trailer for a horror movie I've kind of been anticipating, and boy, did Universal's department just want to ruin the entire thing for me. The movie in question is called Drop, and it's the latest horror movie by Christopher Landon. He's someone that I think has been putting out pretty decent horror movies, from Happy Death Day, Freaky, was at one point gonna do Scream 7 before he quit that project, but now we have the movie Drop, and from the premise it sounded pretty intense. It was about a woman who goes out on a date and then she starts getting airdropped these mysterious messages targeting her and then forcing her to do some sinister things. And I was like, okay, that sounds like a good way to mix in some modern tech, a little horrifying situation. Let's see if it's good. And Universal said, hey, you want to see the whole movie in 2 minutes and 40 seconds? Well, here you go. Yeah, if you were at all also interested in this premise and wanted to see this movie, I'd probably advise you not to see the trailer. And I know I'm going to get the comments, but you know you're showing me the whole trailer also, Chris. I'm not giving you the sound and the context. So let's put Granny's panties away and get out our big boy boxers, okay? But Universal has just lately done this so much with so many of their movies. There must be a study done internally that us, the public, are not aware of, that when you show the audience the entire movie and they ended up seeing that same movie, they must walk out happy with their purchase, right? Because there was no surprises. I paid exactly what I expected for, so how could I be mad? I'm thinking that's the only logical way. There must be studies done that the general public like seeing the whole movie in 2 minutes and then watching it for 2 hours. Also, maybe just me, but if you saw the trailer, anybody else got pissed off with the constant phone vibrating? That just triggers my fight or flight, because hearing this over and over makes me feel like I'm currently asleep and my phone's trying to wake me up. I'm still interested in the movie, but it kind of pissed me off. Let me know what you guys thought about the trailer for Drop. Moving on here, it's starting to become more common, unfortunately, that Hollywood ends up making a movie and sometimes it will not see the light of day. From Batgirl, Coyote vs. Acme, and well, the Toxic Avenger. Now, if you don't know who the Toxic Avenger is, he had like a total of about 5 movies that were trauma pictures, these super low budget adult raunchy movies about a janitor who was bullied and fell in some toxic waste and he ended up becoming a hero. Well, the movie got remade and tried to stay very faithful to that like ultra violent and adult tone, so much so that even though people enjoyed it when they saw this at film festivals, it currently rocking a 92% on Rotten Tomatoes, nobody was wanting to buy the movie because we can't even make this rated R. I don't even know if we could risk marketing that, and like not even Netflix or other streaming services thought it'd be worth it. And so the movie just looked like it was gonna disappear and collect dust since nobody was offering to purchase this thing. But thankfully to Art the Clown and Terrifier 3, their production company, Cineverse, having just seen how successful an unrated, full violent, gory movie could be in theaters if you market it to the right people, a la Terrifier 3, they decided to take a chance, buy the rights to the movie, and now they will be giving this movie a theatrical release come this year. That is great news, because I've been wanting to see this movie. And it also shows you the domino effects that happen throughout Hollywood, that something like Art the Clown and its success could then start a trend of more unrated movies hitting theaters. It used to be frowned upon that movies like Terrifier 3 or unrated films went to theaters because they were thriving, they were family businesses, and to put something that nasty and icky on a screen, how dare you? But theaters cannot be that picky and choosy anymore when people are deciding more and more to maybe not go. So if you can put something in a theater that will actually drag people out, okay, they're gonna put whatever they can on that screen. So my Toxic Avenger fans, are you happy this movie will be seeing the light day, and are you excited about that? Moving on here, just last month, we got the horniest movie of 2024, which was Robert Eggers' Nosferatu, a movie where he was attempting to bring the fear back into vampires and send a chill down your spine, and instead sent a tingly feeling at the no-nos. Well, looks like now it's time to send that same tingly feeling to werewolves. It just got revealed that Robert Eggers' next film is going to be a werewolf movie called Werwulf, where it'll take place in the 13th century and even have the dialect of that time. It also said he was at one point thinking of shooting the movie in black and white, but has changed his mind on that. And look, I'm excited. I've mentioned it time and time before. Although I don't love every single Robert Eggers movie, it is undeniable that this guy really hones in on an atmosphere and making you feel immersed into whatever he sets you in. My favorite film of his so far is The Northman, and you could see he put in so much research and love into Viking lore, and I walked out just loving that movie. With Nosferatu, I also came to really appreciate what he was attempting to do. Didn't love the film as much as other people, but it was still a really solid film. And I mean, I just finished watching Lee Winnell's Wolfman, and that left me a little more disappointed than I wanted to. So not to hear a visionary like Robert Eggers is going to give his own spin on werewolves. Okay, yeah, let's see how it goes. Can only imagine what he's going to make the werewolf look like if he decided to give Nosferatu a big old 70s stash on his face. This werewolf going to be rocking a goatee and some mutton chops. I can feel it. But are you guys looking forward to Robert Eggers' next movie, Werewolf? Bringing us here to talk about some Star Wars. We got kind of a shocking story, if you were a Star Wars fan, that revealed to us that Ryan Gosling is in talks to star in Sean Levy's next movie. Now, you guys know around here, I barely talk Star Wars. I only talk about it when it gets to this level of somebody like Ryan Gosling's stature joining the Star Wars universe. But I'm always kind of on the pulse of what's going on in the Star Wars community and looking from afar, kind of side-eyeing, kind of judging, going, that's what y'all got going on? Okay. It's been no secret that there have been dozens on dozens of Star Wars movies and projects that get announced, have directors, have actors, writers, all these people, and then for some reason, the movies just disappear. They don't continue being made, and then in another week's time, we add another movie with another famous person attached to that project. So sometimes it seems dumb to kind of even speculate or wonder if this will be a project that actually comes to fruition, but the article makes it sound like this thing could even end up shooting this year. The article here notes, sources say the Gosling development is a late in the game move for Levy's movie schedule. The filmmaker was eyeing to direct a boy band movie set up at Paramount, which would have reunited Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman, but Gosling's interest and involvement suddenly shifted the Star Wars project into hyperspeed. If a deal makes, the project would continue to fly like the Millennium Falcon, becoming not only Levy's next movie, but also the next Star Wars movie to go into production. So, although Ryan Gosling is just in talks right now, if he decides to sign a deal and be part of this thing, this will actually be the next Star Wars movie that gets made, and we won't just have The Mandalorian and Grogu to look forward to. But again, it always lands on if this ends up happening. The only thing I'm curious about, whether whatever movie ends up happening, is I'm ready to see the damage that Disney has done to the Star Wars brand by constantly oversaturating it with Disney Plus content. We just had the Star Wars Skeleton Crew finish up, a show I actually decided to watch after skipping out on so many other Star Wars related shows, and I ended up really loving it. I thought it was wholesome, it was nice, it was a good adventure in the Star Wars universe, but it looks like not very many people saw it because it had very low ratings, and its future of getting a second season or continuing is looking unlikely. And that's just where we've gotten to with Disney and Star Wars, where they can put out something and the people are no longer urgent or have a driving force to check it out. Nabbing a star like Ryan Gosling could shift those tides and make it then a big event film, but also then maybe not, because The Fall Guy wasn't as big of a success as they were hoping for. But I could understand them looking at someone like Ryan Gosling wanting to be part of Star Wars, and they're like, okay, if we do this, this might give us some goodwill. Let's make this movie quick. So we'll see. I couldn't even tell you how excited I'd be for a Sean Levy directed, Ryan Gosling starring movie without hearing what it's about. But what do you guys make of this situation? Bringing us now to talk about some Sonic 4. Now, although we had already gotten the confirmation that we would be getting the fourth Sonic movie in 2027, we didn't exactly have a release date, and well, Paramount fixed that and told us the movie will be coming out March 19th in 2027. An article put out by Variety also included what seems to be the official logo for the movie, and it was a good time to announce it because yesterday was also the digital release for Sonic 3. So I've been seeing nothing but clips of the movie in full HD, some of my favorite moments of that film, the post-credit scene, and we got behind the scenes stuff, concept art. I made a whole video about things that could end up being used in Sonic 4. You can check that out. But one thing did stick out to me that I wanted to discuss. We had here a scooper online, Cryptic HD Quality, who's someone extremely reliable when it comes to trailer dates, and then will occasionally scoop other random movie news. They've been more right than wrong, but also have been wrong in the past. And well, with this release date getting announced, they said this. What I also heard was this is potentially going to be the final Sonic movie with a few spin-offs planned. And I'm going to be honest with you, my first reaction to reading that was to go, okay, buddy, sure. Because in my mind, I'm thinking Paramount has all the faith and love in the Sonic universe right now. When was the last time that they announced a sequel that quickly as soon as the movie hit theaters and was making money? That doesn't happen very often, but Paramount was right away like, Sonic 4, 2027, gonna be coming at you. And plus they did the Knuckles TV series, and we're thinking we're probably gonna get some sort of spin-off with Shadow, whether in movie or TV form. I'm like, the Sonic universe is just getting started. We're probably getting another trilogy. What do you mean Sonic 4 is the last one? And then I did remember the box office for Sonic 3 right now. A lot of the fan base thinks just because they love Sonic and all they think about is Sonic, the rest of the world feels the same. So they thought easily Sonic 3 would make $1 billion or could make 800, 700 million dollars. And look, even being honest with you guys, I fell into that too, where I was predicting Sonic 3 to at least make 600 million worldwide. But no, Sonic 3 right now is looking just to barely have passed what Sonic 2 ended up making. And it's earning a little bit every other day. It's looking like it'll end under the 450 mark. That might make it seem like we've reached the cap as far as this franchise will go. And so although I don't want to believe it, and this is still definitely a rumor we're taking with a grain of salt, looking at maybe 400, not being able to get over 5, because even Mufasa, that's managed to make more money than Sonic 3 worldwide. Everybody wants to joke around and laugh at how much Sonic beats Mufasa, but Mufasa's actually looking to hit that $600 million mark, something that Sonic 3 is pretty far from. And knowing that these Sonic movies are only getting a little bit more expensive, we're adding more CGI characters, less focus on the humans, everybody's getting a little pay raise, we're getting to a point where Paramount's going, we've reached as far as we can go, we'll make it one more, but if we try going on, we could end up losing money with this series, and that's not what we want. So we'll see, man. Sonic 4 could again change the tide. Maybe this was a situation that December just wasn't the right time to release this. It was too much of a crowded month. Mufasa maybe did take a huge chunk out of Sonic, but Sonic 4 also has that problem because it's releasing a week apart from the next Godzilla and Kong movie, and I'm thinking that's very much the same kind of audience. So unless Sonic 4 magically ends up making a lot more money than the previous Sonic movies, it's a real possibility this could be where the franchise stops, pending whatever spin-offs they have planned. But I throw it off to you guys. Realistically, not just thinking Sonic's the biggest thing in the world, of course they're going to continue it. Do you think Sonic 4 could be the last movie? We're going to see here to talk about an update involving Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars. So I'm highly anticipating to see what the Russo brothers end up doing with these next two Avenger movies. And well, at one point we had heard that Doctor Strange was going to be a big main player in these next two films. And well, Benedict Cumberbatch just did an interview where he flat out admitted he is not involved in Avengers Doomsday. In an interview with Variety, he says here, you see, he just told me that Doctor Strange is taking a hiatus in the next Marvel sequel, 2026's Avengers Doomsday. Is that a spoiler? He asks. F it. Undeterred, he shares that things changed when Jonathan Majors, whose character Kang was intended to serve as the main antagonist of the next phase of comic book film franchises, was fired in 2024 after being convicted of assaulting his ex-girlfriend. So pausing that right there, it looks like, yeah, there are some major changes done to Avengers Doomsday, and at one point Doctor Strange was supposed to be kind of one of the main characters going into that movie, but now with Kang out of the picture and them reworking Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom, he doesn't fit into that plan, so now they're moving him out of that movie not gonna be in it, but he does go on to say this about Secret Wars. Cumberbatch's absence from Doomsday has to do with the character not aligning with this part of the story. And though he probably shouldn't be saying this, he also reveals that Doctor Strange is in a lot of Avengers Secret Wars, which will hit theaters in 2027. And then he teases Doctor Strange 3, saying that they're still trying to figure out who's writing and directing that project, which I honestly would not mind Sam Raimi returning. I know some people didn't love Multiverse of Madness. I think stylistically and directing wise, Sam Raimi did a great job. He just got into that project way too late, where he really wasn't able to make it his own. If Sam Raimi is given the ship from the start and is able to make Doctor Strange 3 from the ground up, I think it could be a really great film. But okay, and now we know Doctor Strange is much more of an important figure in Secret Wars and not Doomsday. That kind of does surprise me, man, because we don't have a lot of those main faces without someone like Steve Rogers, Tony Stark, T'Challa. Now you don't got Stephen Strange in there? Well, then who is the main face? This just leads me more and more to believe those early rumors that Spider-Man is a big part and essentially the main character of the next 2 Avenger movies has to be true. He's the only one I could really see them putting a whole movie on and centralizing it over, although I know they're collaborative efforts. But we know his relationship with Tony Stark and now this multiverse version of Doctor Doom. I think this just makes it more and more obvious that, you know, Tom Holland is going to be the main guy for Doomsday. Whatever happens there leads into his solo Spider-Man movie, and then whatever happens there leads into Secret Wars. Man, I really would not want to be Kevin Feige, though. I feel so bad for him. It feels like every year his plans have to be consistently changed, whether it be because the death of a certain actor or Hollywood strikes or an actor getting canceled or then the audience not following through with this. Like, it's a lot. And let's just hope at the end of it all, Doomsday and Secret Wars end up being as impactful and awesome MCU movies as Infinity War and Endgame was. But this is where I throw it off to you. You hear Benedict Cumberbatch say, I'm not in Avengers Doomsday. Then who do you want to be in Avengers Doomsday? And do you think we'll get Doctor Strange 3 before Secret Wars or after Secret Wars? But anyways, guys, that is all the movie news we currently have going on right now. I want to thank you so much for taking time out of your day to watch me talk some movie news. Don't be forgetting to hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. Follow me on Twitter at 3C Films or on TikTok at 3C Films. But as always, I'm Chris. Take care.